Hi and welcome to another beer garden where I am once again joined by Joe, Joshua, and Charene. I think it's the first time in quite a while that all four of us have assembled on the one evening. It's nice to
Very
see you
true.
all. Yes, how is everyone? Are you all, Charene? You all good?
Yes, I'm doing quite good. Recently in Hong Kong, we are now very ready for the HKI out in the coming month, and we already have a horse from Australia, loss of indexes, that he just arrived in Hong Kong yesterday. So yeah, we are all preparing for the HKI out and also the IJC in the coming week. So this time we only have 8 races at the Valley. The track condition of Happy Valley and Charene both are in very good condition. So looking forward to the meeting today.
Sounds good. Joe's happy down there because America have won the football, haven't they?
Yeah, I'm excited.
But do you think they'll win the World Cup though, or not? Not quite
No,
good enough now.
no.
Well, we
But
can but dream.
I hope I eat my words there.
Yeah, exactly. You never know. Well, this is an interesting card because there's a Scottish element, isn't there? It's all the names of the races have Scottish themes, so who better to host it than myself, being from Scotland? Although we were chatting the other day, Josh, I think you might have some Scottish blood in you. Is that right?
Yes, quite a bit actually. By the sounds of it, if I wasn't Australian, I'd be rooting for the Scots. But yeah, 8 races, Scottish theme. It's going to be good. I saw that you actually corrected Racing Post. I think it was on one of their was it Racing Post or on one of
Isn't it?
their race names? Got it
Isn't
wrong.
it? Isn't it dreadful? They can't even spell Isle of Skye correctly. They put ILSE. And you expect things to be proper, don't you? The
Yeah.
actual the trade paper, the trade online paper. Anyway, let's not delay any further. We'll look at we do what we normally do. We go to the last 3 races, the treble trio, races 6, 7, and 8. Then our favourite part of the show, which there's a bit of agreement on. Well, part agreement in the best bet, and also the value bet. Race number 6 of the St Andrews Challenge Quaich Handicap over the minimum trip. Who do you like in race number 6?
Yeah, race number 9, I went with Super Axiom. His last performances at Happy Valley have been like second, first, or second, fourth, third, and then last season got a second towards the end. I do like his chances here. It was against Valiant Elegance, who was one of my favorite horses going around Hong Kong. Wasn't the 1,000 meter race last time. It's like the trip that he's been mostly doing, and he was out of barrier 11, got second in the last race back in October 9th. I don't think he'll be on the speed. Oh no, he will be on the speed. Actually, I'm sorry, I read the speed map wrong. So he'll be up there. I mean, there's a lot in this race. Obviously, Pretty Queen Prawn, one of our favorites too, which is a gelding. But yeah, this is I think it's a pretty competitive. Uh, this is going to be a pretty competitive race. I don't know. Like, it's really tough. I took the speed just because I think that for the 1,000 meters, especially with Jack Wong up, is going to be a pretty interesting race. We got Antoine Hamlin coming back, so we're looking forward to seeing that. And he's going to be on Pretty Queen Prawn, which was going to be my second selection in this race. But I'm going to go with number 9, Jack Wong. You're going to get about $9.60. So I'm going to go with him.
Okay, Joe goes for number 9, Super Axiom. Sorry to disappoint you, Joe. I think Antoine Hamlin's got COVID.
Oh, I just saw he was coming
Yes.
back.
Yeah. So I think that's for a second time, isn't it? So that's really unfortunate for the Hammer.
Yeah.
But never mind. Moving on. Joshua, who do you like in race number 6?
Yeah, I went a little bit differently here. I went with number 3, Heroic Master. I'm happy to back him here, despite the fact that he does go up 3 kilos from last start. His last start win over this track and distance. Hurton got him into a lovely position in that race. He was getting away from him on the line. He was pretty cruisy on him over the last 200 meters. So I'd love for this to have been over 1,200 meters. I truly think he's going to be better over 1,200 meters or further. But I think that really brings him into this race, in my opinion, because of the speed of the race, as been well discussed during the week. It's going to be super fast with the likes of Super Commander, Pretty Queen Prawn, Super Axiom, Magic Phoenix, Summit Cheers. There's going to be a lot of speed in this race. So I think if he begins well enough, he shouldn't have any issues getting into a nice position early on. He just needs to stay within range. He's got a nice turn of foot, as I said, and I expect him to be super strong late, looking for further. But despite giving weight to a couple of these, I think he's still the one I want to be with off the speed, despite the draw. As I said, there's enough speed to the inside that the draw should be offset, and he should be able to get into a nice position. He's just got to stay within range. So number 3, Heroic Master for me. He was about $3.50 last night on the Hong Kong toe. He's been backed into 270, so a little bit of early backing for him. Number 3, Heroic Master.
Yeah, I saw that. Quite popular there, Joshua. Number 3, Heroic Master for you. And Charene, you're taking a bit of a swing here, aren't you, I think, in your selection?
Yes, right. Because in this sprint race, I'm expecting that there are lots of speed, just like Joshua said, because I think that apart from Special M, Heroic Master, Crystal Powerful, Dincom, and my selection, California Deeply, the other 7 horses are going to lead. So the pace in this race should be very, very fast. And I think that the strongest leader should be Super Axing from gate 4 with a lightweight. However, my pick, number 10, California Deeply, he made his debut last time out over the same course and distance, and he showed a really great turn of foot, along with some good overseas form before coming to Hong Kong. He did well in Australia, and he is a kind of early mature type. So as a 3-year-old, this time breaking from a wide draw should not be a concern, because I think there will be enough pace here, and he should be just following the leaders in the midfield. And also this time he will be ridden by Matthew Chadwick again. So hopefully we can see him to improve, and hopefully we can see him to chase well in the home stretch. So number 10, California Deeply for me.
California Deeply for Charene. Gate 11, a bit tricky, but then, as you say, with this furious pace on, there's every chance it might set itself up for a closer. Well, I went with Joe. I went with Super Axiom. I think Josh was right in a way. I think that Heroic Master's the percentage call. He's up £9, but he's also got gate 10 to worry about. But then again, he built on his his debut when he was third to Pinghai Galaxy. That was a very good run, and if he improves by that much again, then he has obviously the one to beat. I think Super Axiom is a nice horse, though. He's £8 better off with the favourite Heroic Master, and they've kind of swapped around this time. Super Axiom had a tricky draw last time. This time he's from gate 4. I think he'll, despite the furious pace on, I think Jack Wong will probably get to the lead with Super Axiom. I always prefer a horse with a fully fledged jockey, your Zach Purtons, your Hugh Bowmans, your Vincent Hose. However, every now and then you do get any jockey winning, and then you realise to an extent it's the best horse that wins. And to be fair to Jack Wong, he did little wrong last time. He got the horse in a good position on the rail, and he was just overhauled close home by Heroic Master. And also Super Axiom, I think he sees out his races a lot better. He won back-to-back in Charene last season. I think he was kind of written off as a horse that runs 4.5 furlongs or 900 metres. These days, he manages to conserve his energy a bit more. So even if there's a furious pace on, there's a possibility he might track it. Whatever, I think he'll still be pitching at the end. So just to recap, in race number 6 over the minimum trip, Joe and myself, we're going for number 9, Super Axiom. Sharene's going for California Deeply on his second run in Hong Kong. And Joshua goes for I'd imagine, the favourite, Heroic Master. Let's go to race number 7 now, the Glasgow Handicap. Glasgow is about 20 miles from me. I'm in the capital, Edinburgh. Oh. And Joe, who do you like in the Glasgow Handicap? It's a Class 2. It's the best race on the night. It's over 6 furlongs, 1,200 metres.
I'm gonna go with number 4, Handsome Bobo, the old man. He's 8-year-old. He's an 8-year-old now, but yeah, he's with Hugh Bowman. He's drawn number 9. He's mainly raced at Happy Valley from his last 10, 20 starts. I mean, there's like a couple of Shot-tin ones in there, but I think he's somewhat of a specialist, I guess. But 9 is not too bad. I mean, this is a pretty good Class 2 race, because you have Rock Your Heart, Seizing the Moment, Navis 2, Astrologer, who I know is a lot of our favorites here. Keep You Warm, Harmony and Rich, Rewarding Together. But he did get second. I'm going to look back at the race last year on the 15th of September. He drew number 9 as well over the 1,200, because he's been bouncing back from 1,200 to 1,000, and he got a second. In that race, he looked pretty impressive. I know this is a year turnaround, and he hasn't had a win for a while, and he's got like seconds, and he's been all over the place. But I think the old man still has it. He does have a little bit of wet track form. I don't know what the weather would be at Happy Valley or later today, but Yeah, I really like his chances here. I think in the speed map, if you look at it, he's going to be around midfield. So I think I probably would put him on an each way chance because you are getting $3 on the place line too, $10 on the win line, and Hugh Bowman's been doing pretty good at Hong Kong so far. So yeah, I'm going to go with number 4, Handsome Bobo with Hugh Bowman.
So Handsome Bobo for Joe, and that is number 4 on the card, or the number 4 in the race number 7. Joshua, who do you like in race number 7?
Yeah, I went with number 8, Navas 2 here. I think this is a wide open race, but I like this bloke, despite he's having his very first start at Happy Valley. Absolutely loved his first up run behind Fantastic Treasure here at Charene over 1,200 metres before stepping up to the 1,400, where all of his wins have come from. He was wide without cover for the majority of the race, so before fading badly towards the rear of the field. Now, this is a slight query, being at 1,200 metres, but this is the type of race where he might get enough pace up front and be able to run on nicely. And we know he's going to be strong late because we know that 1,400 metres is that peak for him. Ruud Meyer, who's one of his regular jockeys, is out with COVID. So Derek Lung is taking the ride. So we have a couple of unknowns with a new jockey, a track that he's never been at, and of course 1,200 metres. But he's a classy animal, and against horses who are high up in the weights or up in class or even just on the pace, as you know, Rewarding Together, he's up in the weights now. We've got horses coming up in class like Street Scream, who's going for 4 in a row. But this guy's a veteran in class 2 now, so I expect him to be thereabouts. My confidence isn't high in this race. As I said, it's a deep race, despite the fact there are only 12 starters, and 10. I reckon about 10 of these 12 starters could actually win the race. So I'm leaning the way of Navas 2 at about that. I think it's $8.90 the last I checked on the Hong Kong tote, but the confidence isn't high.
Confidence not high for Joshua, but he have to go for something in these races, and it's number 8, Navas 2. An interesting horse, especially on his 4th to Fantastic Treasure at Charene, where it's worth remembering he was second favourite, so obviously expected to go well. As Joshua says, there's a few question marks. This is his first trip to Happy Valley, and also the drop back in trip. I think we both last week, a couple of weeks ago, picked Decrypt, hoping that he would benefit from a drop in trip, and he just couldn't go the pace, unfortunately. The difference with Navas 2 is he has had the odd run over the 1,200, so he is pacey enough. And as you say, if there's a furious pace on, it might play into his hands. Charene, who do you like in race number 7?
In race 7, I'm going with the current favorites, number 3, Rewarding Together, another horse that ridden by Matthew Cherrick that I'm going to have. Because this time Rewarding Together gets a good draw breaking from gate 1 should be very, very ideal for him. And actually, at his seasonal reappearance earlier in September, he was beaten at Charene. But I think there was some excuse because he never performed well at Charene. But whenever he moves to Happy Valley, just like last time out, also breaking from gate 1, he just won it easily and impressively. So this time, I think there will be the same case with his last start. So hopefully he can win it back to back because he's really a Happy Valley specialist. So number 3, Rewarding Together for me.
Number 3, Rewarding Together for Charene. A lucky boy, Rewarding Together. John won last time. John won this time. So the draw god's very kind to Rewarding Together. I decided to go for one of my old favourites, number 10, Rock Your Heart, who ran well last time. Son of I'm Invincible. Chased home Whiskered last time. I think few could have lived with the winner that day. And hopefully the selection can go one better this time. And under Vincent Ho, who's already won on the horse Rock Your Heart. Cracking sprint though, isn't it? Street Scream, of course. No one's picked Street Scream going for the 4th time. And of course he could win. Son of Street Boss Revelation this term, and it gives Angus Chugga an opportunity because apparently as soon as Rewarding Together won last time, Frankie Law basically said to Matthew Chadwick, can you ride this one? So he was looking ahead at a possible clash. So a good move on Frankie Law's part there. But yes, as you say, Joshua, it's anyone's race, isn't it? Once I'd submitted the selections, I even took another look at Astrologer, who was 6th on his seasonal return over the 1,000 metres at Charene. And then he stepped up on that last time behind Rewarding Together. He was slow away, slightly hampered, leaving the stalls. And then under Lyle Hewitson, came through quite well to finish 6th, just been about 3 lengths. If he builds on that run from gate 7, he could well be a lot closer this time. But just to recap, we're going to Joe has picked number 4, the old boy, Handsome Bobo, number 4. Joshua goes for number 8, Navas 2. And Charene, number 3, Rewarding Together. The sensible selection, I think. Rewarding Together, Gate 1, nice horse, likeable horse, isn't it? Just a consistent type. And I'm hoping that number 10, Rock Your Heart, can go one better. Right, we come to the final race, the Isle of Skye. They still haven't corrected the spelling mistake on Racing Post, but they don't listen, do they? The Isle of Skye handicap over Class 3, and this is 1,800 meters. Joe, who do you like?
Yeah, I went with number. Where is it? Number 6, Intrepid Winner with Harry Bentley on board. This horse was considered in the 4-year-old Classic Series last season. I mean, he was a long shot in that race. But if you go back a little bit to when he was in Australia, he did have he was entered in the Queensland Derby and got 6th out of 18 runners, and then he finally won his last start over the 1,800, his last race. So he's going for a double here. This 1,800 race is kind of tricky at Happy Valley, but I mean, it's. I'm looking at it again. I think this is going to be my value pick here because you are going to get $14 on the tote and $4 on the place line. But he's been all over the place. Like they had Ruin Maya on him and all these other jockeys, but I think he finally found the right one, and that's Harry Bentley. So. I think a pretty competitive race. He does have the ability, I think, especially having that stakes experience and having that win the last time out on barrier number 10. And then he was consistent coming from Australia to Hong Kong with getting a bunch of places and then finally getting that win at Happy Valley. I think he could try to get back to back here. So I'm going to go with number 6, Intrepid Winner, the value bet on the card for me.
Number 6 for Joe, Intrepid Winner. Joshua, you're on the screen there. Is that about $14, Intrepid Winner?
Intrepid Winner. Yeah, $14 to win, $4 to place on the Hong Kong tote at this moment.
Without blowing my trumpet, I picked it to win last time, and I actually thought it would be a bit of a revival in fortunes for the Tony Millard stable, but been quite disappointing since then. And for the entire season, they've only had 2 winners so far. Quite a disappointing return for Tony Millard, who you always expect better from. Joshua, who do you like in the finale?
Yeah, my value bet comes up here. Race number 8, number 11, Lucky Diamond. I tell you what, this card, you got 3 staying races and 2 Class 5s, and one of the staying races is one of those Class 5s. So there's a few races here that are really, really tricky to dissect. But I'll end it with Lucky Diamond here. It's a tough way to finish the card, 1,800 meters race. And there's no pace on paper. So I reckon Lucky Diamond each way is the value play. He won well first up over 1,800 metres here at the Valley before stepping up to Class 3, where he was a respectable 1.7 length 4th to Intrepid Winner, Insured, and Savvy Kingman, all of who he faces tonight. He meets, I've written the wrong thing, but that's okay. 2.5 kilos off Intrepid Winner. There we go. And Savvy Kingman, he gets a kilo better off for that loss. And he had excuses. He began tardy and he had to use a lot of energy first up in that run to get into a nice position, which he ended up being a little bit further back than what he usually runs. Usually he's in the front too. He ended up about 5th in the running. He came home well despite copping a bump in the straight. If you get a chance to have a look at the replay, he was coming into the race nicely. He copped a bump keeping Bulletproof. There we go. Bulletproof in. And then he lost a bit of momentum, and then he picked it up again late, which was really good. It was actually quite a bunch finish for the front 5, and then there was a little gap between the rest. He's drawn beautifully here in barrier 2. As I said, there's no pace engaged, so I expect him to be leading or in the front 2. He's got a nice record. All 4 of his wins have come here at the Valley, and 3 of those 4 wins have come at this distance. So I think he's a great each way bet in the last. He's actually drifted since the last. He was $11 last night on the Hong Kong toes. He's out to $13. They're not giving us much on the place line at $2.60. But I think he's a nice each way bet, and he's my value pick for the card.
So the value pick for Joshua, and that is number 11, Lucky Diamond. A nice horse. He's got a decent strike rate as well. 4 wins from 17. course and distance winner on his final start last season, picked up where he left off this season with another win. So that's back-to-back Class 4s. And then, as you said, Josh, are not disgraced in this grade last time, a 4th. So very good chance, and also the icing on the cake, Gate 2 as well, which is nice. Charene, who do you like in the final race of the night?
Yeah, in the finale, I think that it should be a very competitive race because most of the contenders are either having good forms or having the class, just like Tianjin Monster going down to Class 3. But I'm with another top weights that will be number 2, Nearly Fine, ridden by Hugh Bowman, and he will also be my best bet for the night as well. Because this time the main points I like him is because of Hugh Bowman takes the ride. I think he should be very suitable. He should be very suitable for riding this kind of top weight horse because he is also quite tall and with quite heavy weight. But whenever he rides some horses in top weights, he can just surprise us. So hopefully Nearly Fine can also do it. For the horse, he's very consistent at the beginning of the season. He just scored 2 consecutive winners earlier over 1650 meters and 1800 meters as well. But last time out, stepping up to 2200 meters, it may be a bit longer for him, but he could still finish close, running third, beaten by Hit the Shot by just half a length. So I think that he can still keep the form this time because he just have some good track work performance, showing that he is still fit. And also he's a great horse, always looking well and in the paddock. So hopefully this time with Hugh Bowman on board, he can overcome the wide draw and keeps the form again. So number 2, Nearly Fine for me, and he will also be my best bet.
So the best bet for Charene, number 2, Nearly Fine. 2 wins from 3 this season, up to 2,200 meters last time, but back to a more suitable trip this time. Well, I went for number 5, Comet Splendido. Consistency, really, this horse. That's one of his strong points. And Angus Chung takes off £10 as well. I don't think we've seen the best of this War Command gelding. He achieved the breakthrough win, 2 back under Zach Purton. And then last time his follow-up bid he was 3rd under Jai McNeil. And I think the return to 1,800 meters will suit. When you suddenly see the £10 on Angus Chung there, you think, oh, this is fantastic. But of course, you're weighing up, aren't you? You've got the fully fledged professionals who know their craft. And that's why you're getting the £10, because Angus Chung is not the finished article. Then again, it's a consistent horse. He's in Gate 1, drawn on the paint, so he has a very good chance. But, well, if you had to pick the winner here, I think all 12 have some sort of chance. I think the only thing you can say with some certainty is that Delightful Laos will be the last to break, possibly. And even then, he'll probably come out flying from the stalls just to confound it. Just to remind us then, for the finale on the card, Joe goes for number 6, Intrepid Winner. Joshua goes for number 11, Lucky Diamond, and you're both the value bets, isn't that right? No, it's not your value bet, is it, Joe? That comes later.
It is.
Is it?
That is
right.
The value. Yeah, that's the value bet. Yeah.
Right. Cherene's best bet. That's what I'm getting confused at. Cherene's best bet, number 2, Nearly Fine, and I'm going for number 8, Comet Splendid. It's a tough gig doing this.
Come on, Steve. You have to have a value bet or best bet in the last race too.
Exactly.
Why don't you join the party?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I used to do the best bet in the last race, but I'm getting more brave these days. Right. So I think we've covered that. I'll just confirm that I'm number 5, Comet Splendido, in the final race. Best bet time. I think we might have covered one of them. But Joe, who do you like as your best bet on the night?
Well, originally I had my best bet, which no, never mind. I won't spoil it.
You can change it again.
No, I went with race number 2, number 6, Side Hero. He's got currently at $6.60. He's raced against a lot of decent horses. This is going to be a Class 4 race, but and last season he was like up against Smile Like Yours. I think almost every race he was a beaten favorite. Gallant Waking, Rewarding Together, Right and Honorable. Yeah, He ended up winning his penultimate race, and he's mainly raced at Happy Valley, $6.60. I mean, he was at a big price earlier this season, coming up for $20, $15, $22. So now I think that he's probably in form now. But it was a lot of thirds until he finally got a win. The field is, this field has like a lot of another one of our favorites, like Wood on Fire, Wine and Wine, High Rise Soldier. We have a first-time starter in here as well, Mr. Fun with Zach Purton, who surprised not the favorite. Yeah, but he's the third favorite. He's $6.80. But he's drawn number 11. And this is a 1,200-meter race, so we know that run-in on the outside is very vital to runners drawn on the inside. So, side hero for me, Luke Curry. I know he's trying to get a lot of wins here at Hong Kong. He was on the last 3 starts at Happy Valley. So, yeah, I'm going to go with side hero as the best bet on the card, race number 2, number 6.
Joe goes for number 6 in race number 2, Sight Hero. Good chance, I think. Well, I've picked it as well, so a good chance. Joshua, who do you like as your best bet?
Race 5, number 9, Rattan Kingdom. Finally, he's drawn a gate. He's drawn a gate, finally. He was very good first up when drawing barrier 7. He finished a length off Lucky Gore in second before drawing wide last start with Purton jumping aboard. They dropped back due to that poor draw. Did a lot in the run, a lot wrong in the run as well. So, but still managed to finish the race off nicely. He actually ran the quickest rated final 400 and 200 of the entire meeting and cracked the top 5 for the final 8 and 600 meters. So, some nice closing work by Rattan Kingdom. They have drawn barrier 4 here, which is absolutely ideal. Purton remains aboard. He can get to a nice position. The main danger is from the inside gate, Flaming Passion, to his inside. So he should get a nice cart into the race. Just needs some luck. He should be winning this. They'll be cursing at themselves if they don't win with this draw because they've been waiting for a draw. So he was 240 last night. He has been backed into 210 now. Geez, I hope he doesn't start too short. There was a few on the weekend that started a bit short for my liking. You know, that's the game that we're in. We tip early and hope that they come up with some nice prices for us. But Rattan Kingdom, race 5, number 9, Jamie Richards, Zach Purton. Hopefully, we'll get home.
A good selection, in my opinion. Race number 5, number 9, Rattan Kingdom. And can you remind us, Charene, who's your best bet?
Yeah, sure. My best bets will be in the finale. I like the horse in race 8 that number 2. Yes, number 2, Nearly Fine, ridden by Hugh Bowman, should have a good chance here. Recently, obviously, we see that Zach Purton is having quite good forms, but Hugh Bowman as well. And this time, both these 2 Australian jockeys are fully booked. And I think that for Zach Purton, most of his mount were working from the wide draws. And this time, Hugh Bowman is also having quite a number of good horses. So I think that Zach Purton tonight will not be that dominant in the card because this time we have 3 jockeys that are suspended and the other 3 jockeys just tested positive in the COVID. So in a total number of 6 jockeys being absent for the day, so maybe some of the other jockeys can also have some good chances to get some good rides. And of course, I think that Matthew Chadwick is one of them, and also Hugh Bowman. So let's see whether Zach Purton can continue his dominance here. But yeah, I will go for Hugh Bowman's mount. That will be number 2, Nearly Fine, in the race 8. Sorry, because he's being very consistent in this season. So hopefully he can keep the form.
Race 8, the finale, number 2, Nearly Fine for Charene. Well, I am going along with Joshua. And that is race number 5, and that is number 9, Rattan Kingdom. As Joshua has already said, really eloquently, this is his chance, isn't it? He's got a nice low draw. Zach Purton keeps the faith, and it was, and he's had 2 good runs, hasn't he? He's been second. He picked up silver behind Lucky Gore, and then latterly behind Island Surprise over course and distance. But it's a tricky enough race, I think. It's one of these races, again, where you could just find Rattan Kingdom picks of all the times to have a disappointing race when he's got a nice low draw, as these things happen sometimes. But all you can do is pick the horse that you like, and all things being equal, the horse is well handicapped. Zach Purton's on board. He's got a low draw, and he's not had too many chances. So for that reason, I think it's a nice chance. And also, I don't think there's really many that I don't think Hardly Sways at the age of 8. Not that 8's any real problem, but I just think Rattan Kingdom's a nice horse. Flaming Passion for me, I've picked it a few times in the past. He'll go and win now, having said that. But he's just one of those that he just seems to lack something at the business end. I always find he's had chances before. He stayed on okay last time. He was sixth last time. He stayed on late on the outside, but he's a bit of a nearly horse. He tends. I mean, look at his form: 3, 4, 5, 4, 8, 6. That's Flaming Passion, and Harmony in the Home was pipped last time by Sugar. Harmony in the Home had Zach Purton on that day. And I must admit, Sugar was given a fantastic ride by Alfie Chan. It was Purton-esque, actually. I watched it again today, and Alfie Chan cut inside in the home straight, and it was a superb ride by Alfie Chan. Deserves more chances, I think. But just to recap then, for our best bets, Joe has gone for race number 2. He settled on number 6, Sight Hero. And Joshua and I have picked the winner in race number 5. That's number 9, Rattan Kingdom, or at least we hope. And Charene has gone to the finale, number 2, Nearly Fine. Now we come to our value bets. Now, we already know from Joe and Joshua what they're picking. Charene and I have got a new one. But Joe, can you just remind us who you like as your value bet?
Yeah, that's the last race. And that's going to be number 6, Intrepid Winner. I mean, nothing much more to say other than you got to take a shot in this last race. So I think Intrepid Winner is the one for me. So I'm going to go with number 6, Intrepid Winner.
Number 6, Intrepid Winner, around about $14 for Tony Millard. Joshua, can you remind us who you like as your value?
Yeah, race 8, number 11, Lucky Diamond. Lack of pace in this race. Should get a nice run throughout. And hopefully, with the low weight, he'll be thereabouts on the each way line. Hopefully, we get a little bit better in the place price. That'd be nice.
So that is Joshua's race number 8, Lucky Diamond. Hopefully, he's found a gem there. And Charene, race number 2.
Yes,
they're not bad, are they? They're not bad.
Jokes, yeah.
Yeah, they are. Charene, who do you like as your value bet?
Yeah, my value bet will be in race 3. It is a class 4 race over 2,200 meters. In Hong Kong, it is not that popular for the long distance races. So some of the horses with some good stamina in Hong Kong are just waiting for their suitable fixture. And finally, this time, number 2, Palace Pal can race over this distance for the first time in Hong Kong. And he is the 5-year-old gelding side by Mongolian Khan. And this is the second season that he is racing in Hong Kong. Finally, a good distance, a suitable distance for him. I'm expecting him to perform better. And also, he will be putting on the blinkers for the first time this time. And before that, he already had 2 barrier trials quite impressively with the blinkers. So hopefully, this gear will be helpful for him. And Palace Pal, in fact, he was not beaten far in his 2 starts earlier in the season. And also, Jerry Chow takes the ride again and taking out 2 pounds, it would be one of a big advantage for him. So breaking from gate 7, I am expecting him to stay in the midfield and hopefully over this more suitable distance for him, he can run better in the home stretch. So number 2, Palace Pal for me as my value bet in race 3.
Value bet for Charene, race 3, number 2, Palace Pal. Got the blinkers back on, which I believe they were used when he was in Australia. That's right, isn't it? You had the headgear there. Well, I'm joining you in race number 3. I'm going for the old boy, another old boy, number 6, and that's Red Ulysses. Really nice horse, Manfred Mann trained, not quite as fast as his other horse, well, one of his horses, Lucky Sweynesse, of course. But a nice horse, Red Ulysses. His old legs, as I say, may not be the force of old, but he retains a lot of enthusiasm. And funnily enough, in 75 runs, this represents his first crack at 2,200 metres. And if you look back at his history, his various runs over 20,000 have actually been quite good. He's basically been staying on to good effect. He's a 9-year-old. He ran well behind Circuit Elite last time. He was beaten 1.5 lengths into 5th. And it represents his best run of the season, 3 runs so far. Derek Lung gets a good tune out of the selection, and he takes over from Matthew Poon. And he's also nicely drawn in gate 5. But it's a class 4. It's a tricky race. I would imagine Circuit Elite will probably go on under Angus Chung. And hopefully Palace Pal or Red Ulysses can make the frame. That would be nice. So just to recap the value selections, Joe, and well, we actually cover 2 races here, don't we? Just 2 races. Joe goes for number 6, Intrepid Winner. Joshua number 8, and that is race 8, 11, Lucky Diamond. And Charene and I in the 3rd race, number 3 for Compassion Super. That's his spirit, no? Compassion Super.
Oh, sorry. It is number 2, Palace Pal.
There's so many Yo Beauties, Beauty Tycoon, honestly. Compassion Super. And I went to race number 3 also, number 6, Red Ulysses. Well, that's it. We've looked at all the different races. And obviously, we're looking forward to HKIR and the IGC, but we've got a nice card tomorrow, an 8-race card, very competitive. So hopefully we've marked your card successfully. Until we see you at the weekend, it's goodbye from us all.